Hi again, and welcome back for a new comparative video of 3D printing with OKM3D. So today, as we have a new arrival, the Zortrax M300 Dual, which is on the market, we would like to compare it with a similar professional printer and prosumer printer with the same build volume with a price range between 3,000 and 7,000 euro. So we have, of course, the Zortrax M300 Dual, the Ultimaker S5, and the Raise3D Pro2. We're going to compare prints with ABS, PLA, PETG, Nylon, PVA, and BVOH. The comparison will be made on prints which are in dual extrusion mainly, and we're going to see which printer is the best. Hi again. We are going to compare the tech specs of the Zortrax M300 Dual as if this is our new arrival, and we're going to compare the specs of the Ultimaker S5 and the Raise3D Pro2. So the Zortrax M300 Dual, we start with the price of 4,000 euro plus VAT, which you will have to add a few options depending on what you are printing. The build volume, of course, of the M300 Dual is 265 by 265 by 300 millimeter, which equal about 21.07 liter in terms of volume. The nozzles on the print head diameter is 0.4 millimeter. Of course, the nozzles of the Zortrax M300 Dual have a temperature between 180 and 310 degrees Celsius. The resolution we can achieve with those nozzles and those print heads is from between 100 and 300 microns. Now we're going to talk about the build platform and the perforated plates. So the Zortrax comes out of the box with two types of plates, one for glass, one which is made of glass, high temperature glass, for PLA and flex material, and the other one is for more technical filament, as it is a perforated plate that has proved with Zortrax very high success rate since the start of the machine's Zortrax. Calibration of the Zortrax, it's automatic or manual. You have options to do it yourself or to let the machine does the job for you. There is as well a display which is there, touch screen, color, which is very interesting to have a good view of what you are doing. Okay, it's the same as the Inspire or the M200 Plus. The print heads now. When we look at the print heads here, it's easy to change. The hot end module is about 110 euro for the full hot end module, without VAT, of course. And the nozzles are quite cheap if you want to change. It's 8.90 euro excluding VAT for two nozzles, two pieces. Very cheap. Connectivity now. The Zortrax M300 Dual is connected either with Wi-Fi, LAN, or USB. You can, if you need it for technical filament, buy an option as an accessory, an option, the cover that will cover and enclose the printer. It's with an HEPA filter as well included in the cover, okay, that you will need to plug to the machine for it to run. And it's an option that costs 210 euro plus VAT, right? Now, when it comes to filament, so of course, as it is dual extrusion, you can put two spools of filament which are placed at the back of the machine. Okay, we're going to have a look later on at the back of the machine to show you exactly how it works. So that we'll see later. When it comes to safety, the Zortrax M300 Dual is packed with options. We have a camera, a filament runout sensor, a jam sensor, which is super important and to our point of view, an interesting option, and a power loss solution. Of course, now it becomes the standard to have a power loss solution with machines. When it comes to the software, so for those who are used to it, Z Suite, But now it includes a tool that allows you to manage different printer and a multiple farm of printer. So you can actually plan and print on many printers at the same time, which is new to Zortrax, but as well it becomes the standards when it comes to printing nowadays, with solutions which are more or less completed, goes to very simple to very complex to manage big production. Now, we're going to review the tech spec of the Ultimaker S5. So starting with the price. The price starts at 5,500 euro plus VAT. To that, you will have to include and buy more accessories depending on what you want to print again. So the build volume, as it needs to be compared to the other machines we are comparing today. So the build volume is 330 by 240 but 300 millimeter, which is equal to 23.76 liter. Okay, so the S5, as we saw earlier on, is very easy to use. When it comes to the nozzles, you have 4 types of different diameters: 0.25, 0.4, 0.6, and 0.8 millimeter in diameter. The nozzle temperature, of course, is 180 to 280 Celsius. Okay, very easy to change. You just have to flick it down and change the nozzle. Pretty handy, actually. The build plate now, it's a glass build plate, which you will need to add some glue and so on, depending on what you are printing, but that's not a problem. The plate is heated, of course, from 20 degree to 140 degree. Calibration, again, like the Zortrax, it's either automatic or manual. Okay, you have a 4.7-inch touch display with the Ultimaker S5s, which is really well made and really responsive. The print heads, we saw that it's very easy to flick it down, press and change the print heads. The print cores, though, you can buy them for around 300 euro plus VAT each. So that makes it a bit pricey for nozzles, but it works. When it comes to connectivity, we can print using Wi-Fi, LAN, and USB, as it becomes the norms in 3D printing nowadays. Cover. Now, the Ultimaker S5 does not come with a cover, right? You can buy it, though. It's available as an option for 350 euro plus VAT. The downsides, we don't have a HEPA filter coming with it for now. Filament. When it comes to filament, the Ultimaker S5 use 2.85 millimeter diameter filament, which is kind of unique on the market, as 1.75 millimeter becomes the norms. It hangs outside of the machine. You can as well have a poly box linked to it for the PVA, for example, for about 60 euro plus VAT. Safety. Again, when it comes to safety, there is a camera, there is filament runout sensor in the S5. And the software, so it is Cura Ultimaker Connect, which will allow you to manage multiple printers with Cura Connect. As I said earlier on, it becomes the norm for 3D printing nowadays. Quite simple and quite enclosed as well. Now, we're going to talk about the Raise3D Pro2. So as we know, the 3 printers we are comparing today are professional printers. The Pro2 is standing out from the crowd, we'll say, because of its price, which is 3,500 euro plus VAT. Okay, it has, of the 3, the biggest print volume, 305 by 300 millimeter, which is equal to 27.9 liter. Okay, adding to that, you have a very strong structure in the machine with 2 ball screws, 4 axes for the Z, so it makes a very flat platform that doesn't move, so you don't need to calibrate it all the time. There is a wide range of nozzles coming as well with the machine, so the 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, and 1 millimeter in diameter nozzles that you can install on the Pro2. which make it great for multiple application, which depending on what you need to do. The nozzle temperature range from 180 degree to 300 degree. The resolution, the maximum resolution, even if we know it's only theoretical, is 10 micron per layers, and it can go up to 800 micron. To arrive to those results, you need, of course, to change the nozzle according to the layers you want, right? The build plate itself is an aluminum build plate, which is held by magnet and secured by screws. There is a built-up surface on top of it that allows multiple of material to stick very well to the build platform. It's of course heated from 20 degree to 110 degree. Calibration. What's interesting with the Pro2, it's calibrated directly in the factory. So you can, of course, calibrate the distance between the nozzle and the platform manually. It's very easy. One screw with optical captors that will allow maximum accuracy. But it's not calibrated automatically. So all mechanical on this machine. There is a fantastic as well display. It's a 7-inch color touch display, as you can see here, with the multiple of options. It's very responsive. The print heads, it's very easy to change, right? The hot end module, and it's about 80 euro when you want to change the hot end, plus VAT, of course. When it comes to the nozzle, when you want to buy new nozzles to change the diameter or to change the alloys and so on, you will count for about 20 euro per nozzle plus VAT. As the two other machines, as the Ultimaker S5 and the Zortrax, when it comes to connectivity, there is Wi-Fi, LAN, and USB. Okay? What's very interesting with the Pro2, it comes with the cover included in the price. So there is no need to buy accessories as opposed to the two others. That makes the machine completely enclosed, and it's very important. Filament. As well, Raise3D is different from other brands as it has the filament on the side of the machine. So accessible and inside the machine. So to keep the filament heated at all time with the temperature of the chamber, the natural temperature of the chamber. It includes, of course, a HEPA filter as well in the machine directly, no need to buy it as an option. And safety, when it comes to safety, again, we have a camera, filament runout sensor, power loss solution, of course. And when it comes to software, the well-known ID maker is there and to help you slice, but as well, there is a new tool, the Raise Cloud, which will allow to manage print farms or Raise factory, as it's called, and as well manage production and plan production on multiple units. Now, to show you the back of the machine and especially where do you put the filament spools. So we can see on the Zortrax a quite clever solution which allows big spools to be put at the back with a clever solution to store filament with silica gel, completely enclosed, filament that suffers from humidity. So on the Zortrax, you have both filament runout sensor here and the spools here. Right? When it comes to the Ultimaker S5, so there is a system that is piling up the spools. It's quite big actually. We lock it with that device here. The extruders and runout sensors are showcased just here, 1 and 2. They are numerated here. And the big disadvantage of that solution is if you want to put the printer against the wall, it makes it very hard to access the spools of filament and change the filament. You always have to move the printer away to do so. We are not showing the Raise3D Pro2 as we saw here on. The filaments are inside the machine from the side, which you can load as well with the polybox outside, as we saw earlier on. So, which make it very clever in terms of changing spool and accessing them, so you can put the Raise3D against the wall as well. Now, we will give you an update on the print we launched earlier on. As you can see on the Zortrax M300 Dual, it's a very neat job. So now the printer is changing the print head, but you can see in real time that Very neat print, very proper, the supports are fantastic, the tower is great, everything going smooth. Now, an update of the same print on the Ultimaker S5. Bad surprise when we arrive, due to the fact that the filament sensor is placed at the back of the machine. It didn't detect that the filament didn't go through anymore, and we will have to restart the print. Now, the fact that Ultimaker S5 is faster than the two of them should be okay to finish the print in a second phase. Back to the Raise3D Pro2 and the update on the print. As you can see, the print is going good, going well. A bit more messy than the two others, or especially the Zortrax as the other one we need to be relaunched, but a great job overall. So switching mechanism is completely automated, and you can see the result. We will update you on the print as we go. Now, as we said earlier on, we have to stop the print on the Ultimaker S5 due to the filament being broken. What we will do, we need to find out the cause of the issue, then reload the filament, then start the print again. Even if we will start the print again, the Ultimaker should finish the print before the Zortrax, and at about the same time as the Raise3D, or slightly after. So we will update you on the results once it's coming. Hi again, to give you an update on the prints that we have launched earlier. On the Zortrax, everything is going good, amazing print quality, and we must say that the support structure reminds us of the one of Stratasys. It's very neat, and it's very clever in the way they do it. So we'll come back later. Here we are back at the Ultimaker S5. So we had a bit of trouble, so we called a professional and somebody we know who could help us understanding why we had a bit of trouble, a bit of issue with the printing of the sample we launched earlier. So it happened that it could be due to the filament we had that could have been a bit old, and so we triggered and we customized the profile. So as a result, before it was, I think, under 7 hours for the printing. Now we are 8 hours and 36, but all seem to be back on track and printing well. So far, on the second attempt, no problem. So with the Raise3D Pro2 now, the update on the print, everything works as expected. It's not the most clean job ever, as there is a bit of debris around, flying around, but it's what we expected. The print overall is very nice, it's working well, it hasn't stopped at all. So very happy with what we are seeing right now on the Raise3D Pro2. Hi again. So we have here the 3 prints which are a success on the 3 machine, on the Zortrax M300 Dual, on the Ultimaker S5 and the Raise3D Pro2. So the dual extrusion print with PVA and PLA is a success on the 3 machine, as I said. In terms of the time it took to print the models, it took 11 hours on the Zortrax, 8 hours and 46 minutes on the Ultimaker S5, and on the Pro2 about 10 hours, actually 10 hours square. So the pity we had is that we had to restart the print because we had a failure on the Ultimaker S5, but regardless, it's still faster than the other 2. We're going to see a close-up view now of all the prints so that you can see for yourself in detail what I'm talking about. Now for a close-up view on the Zortrax M300 Dual. So as you can see, the print is a very good quality print, very neat, I must say. As we said earlier, the support structure reminds us of the Stratasys one. As you can see, there is a structure that is very neat, well around the print as well, the way it needs to be. Of course, we have few debris, as it can be expected with PVA material, as you can see here, but the print quality is superb on all the faces of the cubes. So we'll see later. Now for a close-up view of the Ultimaker S5, same print. So overall quality, very good. The support structure as well comes out of the print. There was a bit less debris on the PVA, but as we can see as well, we can see the layers pretty well on the print. Would have expected a bit better, but overall quality is pretty good. Now, for the Raise3D Pro2. So we have a very good print quality. As you can see, the support structure is quite different from the 2 others printer. So the PVA is printed inside the model, so we are saving a bit of material, which is quite clever. The quality of the print is very good, I must say. And of course, we had a few debris of PVA, as you can see, next to the print itself. So we actually put all the prints in the water to have the support removed by the water itself. We will see the results within an hour. We expect the support to have dissolved quite fast on the Raise3D, as it is PVOH as opposed to PVA on the 2 others. So we'll come back later to give you an update on the prints. Now, giving you an update on the water-soluble filament and how it dissolves and how fast it dissolves depending on the model. So here we can see on the Raise3D model that the part inside is already moving, nearly no support material left, very fast, very fast. So on the Zortrax, we very compact support material, so it will take another while to dissolve the full support, which is okay because we have a bit of time, but we can see very compact. I expect this one to finish last. And for the Ultimaker S5, we can see as well that it's still very compact, even though we can access, as you can see, the inside, but the part is not moving at all yet. Here we are with the test print with PVA and PLA with the Raise3D, the Ultimaker, and the Zortrax. So now the soluble material has been removed. So we start with the Raise3D. It took about an hour to remove the soluble material, the BVOH, which is extremely fast, extremely fast. So we have a print which is well respected, as you can see, nice surface, could be slightly better. But the print itself, no overhang, as you can see in every faces. It's very, very good everywhere. So the shapes, and that's what interests us, are sound and homogeneously respected. Good print from Raise3D. So for the Ultimaker, the same. Good print overall. The surface quality could be a bit improved as well. But the shape, there is still a bit of brim here, as you can see. A bit of an extrusion, but the shapes has been completely respected, even though we can note that the PVA from both, actually, Ultimaker and Zortrax has taken a bit more than 1 day to dissolve. So, great point from the BVOH of Raise3D if you are in a hurry. And for the Zortrax, again, we have fantastic surface quality. So it's very neat print. But we note that the overhang underneath has been a bit different from the two others. So there is a bit of lines here, and the shape, the overall shape of the sphere inside is not the best, but the quality of the print itself is very, very good. Same with the Ultimaker. It took about a bit more than 1 day to dissolve the PVA, but we're all used to that with PVA. So good print as well, even though it could be better in terms of overhang. Here we are now testing PLA with the different machines, so the Raise3D Pro2, the Ultimaker S5, and the Zortrax M300 Dual. We've been testing PLA material with the torture test print from Polymaker. Okay, that will give us a good idea of the quality of the machines. So we're going to start with the Raise Pro2. So here you can see on the torture test that it's pretty high, complex part with overhangs, and we have quite a beautiful results, especially on the spike at the top. Nothing has moved. The ellipse itself is very neat. There is no stringing. The sphere is absolutely fantastic on both the lower one and the top one. And you can see as well the surface of the base is very, very neat. Overall, a fantastic, excellent print from Raise3D. When it comes to the Ultimaker, so very good print as well overall. The pointy bit here has been very well respected. We can see a bit of stringing and overhang, only a little default here and there on the sphere that hasn't respect the shape that was meant to be printed, and we can see layers on the ellipse as well, but overall good surface on the bottom, the feet are respected, good print from Ultimaker. With Zortrax, so a bit different. We see a deformation at the top, loads of overhang as well, stringing, and the shape has not been fully respected. The surface at the base is quite good, and the ellipse you can see that there is a bit of under extrusion here and a lot of stringing in the middle. So not the best print in PLA from Zortrax. For the test, we just took random PLA to see how it was working with PLA, as it is the standard in 3D printing. We are now showing you prints made out of nylon. So we have, for the Zortrax Nylon, the manufacturer brand. Same for the Ultimaker. For Raise3D, as the manufacturer is not producing nylon, we took for the test print a standard nylon PS666 that you can find in the market. So it's quite, as you know, it's a quite complicated piece to print. So again, we are here with the overhang test, and we can see from the raise, again, nice surface everywhere, all around. With nylon, we have a bit more stringing on some parts that are overhanging, which is normal due to the material itself, and as well few deformation. But all in all, very good print quality. For the Ultimaker S5, very good finish as well. So we have on the surface here, and we can see as well, like on the raise, a bit of stringing where the filament couldn't hold on anything. And you can see as well here in the inside, a bit of stringing, nothing alarming though. There is a piece of raft that are very hard to take off, unfortunately. And the details are quite good, even though the shape are not very respected. But all in all, it's pretty good print. Now, for the Zortrax M300 Dual, We kind of find the same pattern here with the other two. So we have the stringing that appears at the same place, on the bottom as well. The finish of the surfaces is quite good. The little details here are a bit out of shape. Nylon is super strong, as you know. Flat surface, beautiful quality print on the top. And as you can see as well here, we have quite a bit of stringing. So, but nothing alarming when it comes to nylon. That piece to print is quite complex, as I said, and it's meant to showcase the overhang anyway. Thank you. Back again with a test print made out of PETG. So we wanted to showcase PETG with soluble material, as it is the easiest way to create support with PETG. PETG is a very strong material, and when you print support with PETG and you print the support as well with the PETG, it's very hard to take that support away, as the PETG is very strong. So what we did, unfortunately, as you can see, for the Ultimaker S5, we do not have a PETG for the simple reason that we didn't get it. So we're going to talk about the Raise3D Pro2 and the Zortrax M300 Dual on that test. So, starting with the Pro2 print, so overall you can recognize the inside support structure that Ultimaker creates for this print. So with the soluble material, overall the quality of the print is good. It's quite good everywhere, as you can see. There is on the edges some default here and there. Quality is good, but could be slightly better. But for PETG and support, it's a pretty good print, as you can see. Now, going to the Zortrax M300 Dual, very good, excellent print quality. So you recognize the support structure as well that comes out a bit, and that reminds us all the time of the Stratasys one. You see the top face of that cube is excellent. So are the other faces. The edges are very neat and clear. On the bottom, same. We have an excellent quality of the print, and there is practically no default on this one. So well done to the Zortrax M300 on that print. Now, back again with the overhang print test that we've done earlier on in ABS. We used this time PLA from Raise3D, premium PLA, Ultimaker as well, PLA, and for the Zortrax we used the Raise3D PLA as well. So we're going to check now the quality of the print in more details. For the Raise3D, so we can see, same as the ABS, very good quality overall, right? The sphere inside is really well respected, no stringing at the bottom. The raft surface is pretty good. We can, of course, on the cylinder see a bit of stringing coming out of it, as it is an overhang, but overall very good quality print. You can see all the details of the dots here, well respected. The surface is extremely good quality. So very happy with this print. For the Ultimaker S5, so the overall quality is quite good, but we would expect a bit better, as there is a lot of stringing, same as the ABS print earlier on, so quite a lot of stringing in the cylinder here. You can see on the sphere, bit of material coming out. The surface here on the roundy edges is not the best I've seen. Details are respected, of course, but as you can see, you can see the layer quite well. Maybe it's due to the white print itself. For the Zortrax, so good quality overall, few mistakes here and there. The surface on the top is quite good. The bottom, we can see stringing on the sphere that we couldn't see on the Raise3D. Here as well on the cylinder, a bit of stringing. We can see as well few layers, but the edges are quite well respected and quite neat as well. So good job from the Zortrax M300 Dual. It is time now to, and I bring you to the conclusion of the comparison we had between the Zortrax M300 Dual, the Ultimaker S5, and the Raise3D Pro2. So I will start the conclusion with the Ultimaker. As you can see, it's a beautiful machine, very well designed, right? High quality material all around. Everything is well thought after. With the Ultimaker S5, we have glass door which are pretty thick, and you can hear the quality even when you touch the machine. The screen is really well made, really well designed, easy to use, very intuitive. One of the major points, and that shows that the designer in Ultimaker are very good, is the build volume really take the full volume of the machine. So there is a lot of work to that. The connectivity is great, camera and all. So great machine, a bit expensive though for the quality we expected in terms of printing. We were slightly disappointed about that, but all in all, great machine, easy to access. Accessories as well are a bit expensive if you want to change them or if you want to cover the machine or add an HEPA filter. So great machine, great design, intuitive, but can do a bit better. We're going to go now and review and conclude on the Zortrax M300 Dual. Strong chassis there, so great machine as well. We all know Zortrax. It prints very, very well in high quality. You have the perforated plate. Now it can come fully enclosed with HEPA filter as well as an accessory, which is a bit damageable, but the Zortrax have done a great job with this machine. It prints exceptionally well, technical material, PETG, ABS. The little downfall we had, it was about the PLA, I should say. But when you see the machine itself, great print all in all, very neat, no problem. Zortrax, as you know as well, is an enclosed, completely closed ecosystem, so you don't have much choice when you want to edit settings, or when you want to go further in what you are doing with the 3D printer. But I must say, if you keep Zortrax filament with Zortrax setting and the Zortrax ecosystem, if you don't want to go further than that, great machine to have, great print quality, technical filament. Downsize a bit, that screen here, a bit small and not always easy, but that's not a major problem. So great machine with the Zortrax. We are going now to the Raise3D Pro2. So let's note that it is the cheapest machine, but it is the most complete machine as well. Meaning, so you have the cover, you have the HEPA filter, you have the largest screen, touch screen, very intuitive as well. The Raise3D Pro 2 come with a full solution. All of them, I must say, have a kind of cloud management system or farm management system. But the only solution which is complete is the Raise Cloud, where you can really manage full production over multiple printers. ID Maker as well have been growing for years to become one of the reference on the market. Print quality, we put them together with Zortrax. We were extremely happy with what we produce, both with technical material and PLA support. Everything we did went very well with the Raise3D. We had no problem. We like as well the fact that it's a strong machine, well built. The spools are on the side, so you can really put it back into the wall. So it's great. The doors are very thick, you can hear. It's plexi, but it's good plexi. So the build volume as well is the bigger, and it's in the category, in this range. And we are very happy with what we did. You can note as well that on the doors, you have two holes here with plugs to put a poly box outside for technical material or bigger spools. So extremely happy with what we saw in conclusion with the Raise3D. You will see, and you have seen all the print tests we've done. Now it's time to say goodbye to you. Please like the OKM channel. You will see us again for more videos, and don't hesitate to leave a comment.